From lack of funding to underpaid staffers, these are just some of the challenges facing shelters for victims of gender-based violence in the country. This was revealed at the Commission for Gender Equality's report on the state of shelters early this week. And now, survivors have detailed the trauma that led them to flee their abusive families. SABC News reporter Maageketla Mohlabe and camera person Sicelo Hlanula compiled this report.
I've got 6 months now staying in the shelter. I've been abused.
A young mother struggling with emotional turmoil.
I tried to make him to feel happy.
Nelly, not her real name, lived with the father of her 2 children for half a decade.
He just beat me up and say, I do this because I love you.
But the reality was that there was a dark side to their relationship.
He tried to kill me maybe twice. On the bathroom, he filled up the bathroom with the water. He just threw me inside. Then he burned me with the stone, and that's still on my private part.
A punishment for giving birth to a child her partner thought was not his.
My firstborn is 3 years old. Then he said, this child is not my child. He loved my secondborn because my secondborn, she's very white in complexion. And my boyfriend, he's dark. He doesn't like the dark kids.
But that was just the start of his reign of terror behind closed doors.
He was trying to burn my face. So I just ran away and tried to hide my face.
Nelly survived an acid attack and has since been struggling.
He burned my hands.
Despite the constant abuse, she forgave him days later. A mistake she would regret as he took his campaigns of terror to the next level. This was witnessed by their 3-year-old child.
She asked me, where is Papa? Yo, Mama, you remember Papa take you, put you in the boot, drive you where you were going?
She was 4 months pregnant with their 2nd child at the time. Her life was no longer her own.
Because he even mentioned some of things. Say, you, where you can go, we'll never go anywhere because I'm the one who make, I'm a provider in your life.
But Nelly had to act fast, devising an emergency escape plan. She had to move out in police's presence.
Did you say anything to him when you left?
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
I just said thanks for everything he did to me. I will never forget. Bye.
She has since opted for a protection order.
I'm scared to go there anymore, and I don't have anywhere to go again. I don't want to hate my kids. I always wish the best for them. I don't want them to grow like me.
She found others in the shelter. Sandra, not her real name, is among them.
He is violent. He can do whatever he wants to do.
She recalls how her 5-year-old daughter is still scarred by the emotional abuse they had suffered.
She will say to me, is he not going to come back? Is he not going to find us here?
Despite moving out, she still lives in fear.
Is he not going to find me? And if he finds me, what he's going to do to me? Because the last time he said to me, if I will see you again, you better tell me what to do to you. Just because you're nothing, you better be dead.
Sandra says her 1-year stay in the shelter paid off.
I was very empowered because there are books that are supplying him. I was reading the stories. I saw that when you become independent, I don't think there is no one who's going to come and just stop you. You will just go forward and do whatever you want to do, what you think that is good for yourself.
However, there are more concerns from officials.
There's a need for mental health services to be prioritized. There's a need for substance abuse issues. There's a need for the LGBTIQ women or people to be accommodated. We don't have transitional housing, or we don't have prioritized housing in South Africa.
Dr. Zubaida Danka works closely with survivors.
I have been in this field for over 30 years. And I must tell you, from then to now, we see minimal change. So I don't know about the political will, but what I do know is that women's organizations in this country now are really ready to hold the government accountable, and we will not stop.
She says staffers are being underpaid and other shelters are forced to close their doors. Government officials have been called into account for the failing state of shelters in the country.
The Commission calls a public investigative hearing within the 2019-2020 period, wherein all head of departments within the 9 provinces, Department of DSD, will be called for these hearings.
Away from a violent and sadistic abuser
I think government can provide more for the shelters.
to a safer place.
Once it's the abuser, he will always be the abuser.
Survivors like Nelly and Sandra know they had to leave to tell their own stories, and that it is never too late to leave an abuser. Maageketla Mohlabe, SABC News, Johannesburg.